Hello, we will be looking into the installation of Linux in this video. We will be choosing CentOS as the platform. We will be looking into CentOS 7 with graphic user interface. You can use the CentOS without GUI also, but you will need advanced administration skills to manage these servers. In our advanced series, we will be using the non-GUI based servers as well to showcase those skills. We will run through the setup step by step and we will try to explain why a feature has been chosen. So while we are running the setup of Linux as of now, let's look into a little history about Linux. It was created by Linus Torvalds, a Finnish American software developer. The Linux kernel is much in use by Linux-based operating system, Chrome OS, and much more popular Android. There are a lot of flavors of Linux available these days. The enterprise version of Linux is known as RHEL. Luckily, which is also available for general public by using a developer edition now. CentOS is freely available and is essentially RHEL in the core other than the licensing part. We'll be using language as English United States as presently there is a restriction of this language on the installation of Linux in 2017. We'll click on next. So first of all, we will choose the region and date time. We will make sure that the language support is English US. We will choose the software to have a server with GUI and so with GUI and yeah, and click on done. Then we will choose the installation destination. Click on done. Okay, so this will take some time to reflect. So we'll have to wait. Okay. Okay. Next, we will choose the host and network settings. Here we'll try to configure the NIC card. We'll click on configure. We'll switch it on and then click on configure. So there will be a lot of settings present. We'll start with general settings. We will need to click this to automatic. This will help the network connection to establish when the switch on when we switch on the node. We'll next move to IPv4. We'll change it to manual and we'll add an IP address 192.168.26.172. We'll give the default net mask and gateway will be 192.168.26.1 and we'll also add a DNS server 192.168.26.103. Okay, and then we'll need to save this. Next, we will move to IPv6 settings and we will ignore this setting so that it does not conflict. Okay, and then we'll save this and we'll click, we'll check everything looks fine. We'll click on done. Okay, and we'll click on next for the installation to begin. Okay, here we'll set the password for root. We'll give a password for root, and if you don't choose a strong password it will show weak, so we will have to click on done twice to make sure that these settings are accepted. Okay, and next we'll create a user. The user will be SQL admin. Okay, and then we'll choose a password for this user. And again, if you do not use a standard password, it will again show weak in the strength part, and then you have to click on done twice to make this happen. Okay, now this will take some time to finish, so we'll fast forward this. Typically, it should take around 15 to 20 minutes depending upon the resources that you have allocated for this VM. So now it's asking for a reboot. So we have rebooted the system. So now the system will boot up with a graphic user interface. which we had chosen while installation. It will take some time for the first time to load. While this setting is getting loaded, I would like to mention that options we have chosen is very basic for better understanding. And in our advanced series, we will be creating separate mount point partitions, which will be helpful in installation of database as per the industry standards. Okay, so now this has come up. We'll accept the license information. Just click on I accept the license settings and click on done. Okay, and click on next. Okay, so the final settings are being established. Now the system will boot with the GUI. Okay, we'll try to log in as a root user. So we'll give the username as root. Click on next, give the password, and click on sign in. Okay, so now it will take some time for the screen to boot up for the first time, since it is loading the profiles and everything. So as discussed before, we will be creating another advanced series where we'll be covering mount points based out of SAN and Linux servers to replicate the industry standards. So now we see the server has boot up. Okay, so we'll try to open up a terminal and yeah, now we'll try to ping something. So we'll ping Google and check if the internet connectivity is there. Yep, it's working fine. So the configurations have worked out as expected. I will click this next. Choose this as US states and go to next. Yep, and we are all set to start working on CentOS. Okay, and the next video which will be following will try to cover up some commands based on Linux in analogy with Windows commands. Thank you.